I started running at the beginning of 2024, but it wasn't until I started accurately tracking my heart rate data that I could see where I was at and how well I was progressing. A proper heart rate monitor will send accurate data straight to your watch in real time, so you can get an accurate understanding of what heart rate zone you're in, as well as how close you are to hitting your threshold. As I'm going to tell you the different variations of heart rate monitor you can get, how they work, the benefits to using a heart rate monitor, and how to understand and read the data that they give you. So hopefully by the end of this video, I've convinced you to go out and get one. And if you've done that, then my job here is done. So let's get into it. Now I know what you're thinking, why can't I just use my heart rate data that I get from my smartwatch or fitness track? And you can really, they're really convenient and really good to use during easy runs and zone 2 sessions. The problem becomes when you start doing high intensity sessions that the data becomes quite inaccurate. Because you're running at speed, you got your wrist movement and your skin temperature is increasing because of how fast you're running, then it's going to make the data not as accurate as it could be compared to, say, a chest heart rate monitor. For zone 2 training, they're fine, but if we're doing speed work or proper tempo sessions, then we need proper accurate data so we can see how hard we're truly working. There are also arm strap heart rate monitors, and these are more accurate than your wristwatch or smartwatch, but still not as accurate as they could be because they use the same optical sensors that the smartwatch uses. So the best choice is the chest monitor because it directly measures your heart's electrical signals, and these are considered 99.6% accurate. So the two most common brands are Garmin and Chorus. There will be other brands out there as well, but me personally, I just recommend using the same brand as your smartwatch or fitness tracker because it's a lot easier for connection. So I use the Garmin heart rate monitor dual, and this is great. It literally connects to my Garmin watch as soon as I put it on. All I have to do is wet the strap before I put it on, and then it will send the data in real time as I'm running. So I actually got this heart rate monitor for free, and it was sat in my drawer for almost a year before I actually used it. And this was because I didn't really understand heart rate zones or how to use the data that they send to you. Once I learned the importance of training and staying in different heart rate zones when we're running, then that was when my enthusiasm for using the heart rate monitor skyrocketed. So there are 5 heart rate zones. Zone 1 is very light, low intensity exercises such as walking. This is great for health and well-being, but we don't do too much training in this zone because it's not really beneficial to our running unless we're doing some kind of recovery work. Zone 2 is our aerobic zone, and here we use fat and oxygen as our fuel source. We do the majority of our training in this zone because over time it will allow our bodies to move more efficiently at a relatively easy work rate. It does take time to build up, however, but if you want more info on proper Zone 2 training, then I have a video up above here. Zone 3 is where we start using more glycogen as fuel, and this is what they refer to as the grey zone. So we don't do too much training in this zone because it's essentially race pace. So we do all our training in Zone 2, building up our aerobic fitness, or speed work, improving our lactate threshold. And then that makes going for a PB on race day a lot easier in Zone 3. We can still do the occasional race prep or long run in this zone, but too much can result in injury or fatigue, so we want to keep that in mind. So Zone 4 is where the fun is. Here we do all our speed work like tempo sessions, intervals and hill sprints, etc. Here we want to push our threshold to the max so we get faster over time. Just one speed work session a week is enough. And then there's Zone 5, which is our maximum heart rate zone, and unless you're an elite athlete, you don't need to worry about this one too much because you won't really be hitting it. So now you know we spend most of our training in these 2 zones, Zone 2 and 4. You can see why accurate heart rate data is so important. Let's say your Zone 2 is around 140 BPM, then you want to make sure you're as close to that number as possible when running. And then you might be running at that pace, but then hit a hill, and you don't know that you've accidentally spiked up to over 150 just by trying to maintain that same pace. And then you're in Zone 3 and you didn't even know it. Also, doing speed work, we want to make sure we're pushing our heart rate as hard as we can so that we can see significant improvements in our threshold and ability to run faster. So this is where we start to get into the benefits of using the heart rate monitor and understanding the data. When you know your own personal heart rate zones and you have a monitor, training becomes so much more simple. You either run really fucking fast or really slow. So you'll notice with your easy runs, if you keep your heart rate at a certain BPM every time, then over the weeks and months, your average pace will start to go up, especially if you're doing the same route, so you can see the improvement. When you start doing speed work and you know where your threshold is, you can really start to look at it during your interval sessions, for example, and see, am I just being a bitch right now, or can I run faster? The amount of times since I've started using this that I've just gone out and I've been like, I'm really struggling today, I'm not really feeling it. And then I'll look down at my watch and I'm only at 167, 168 BPM. and I know I can easily touch 175, 176. Since using this heart rate monitor, my aerobic base is the best it's ever been. I've been hitting more PBs, and my VO2 is the highest it's ever been. I truly believe that a heart rate monitor is the second best piece of gear you can get after a proper fitness tracker. If you are someone who's serious about improving in their running and wants to get better, then it's a no-brainer for me, really. It's a must-have. If not, you're only leaving gains on the table, in my opinion. So just a quick video here, because there's only so much I can really talk about with the heart rate monitor. So if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. Thank you.